Then we have the structural slash materialistic theory of health inequality. So this theory suggests that the differences, which we've already pointed at, the differences in socioeconomic circumstances of social groups, i.e. the differences in income at all stages of life, will cause a difference in health outcomes. Simply put, the presence or absence of money at any point in life, so from when you're 1 day old to when you're 90 years old, the absence or presence of money will always determine whether you have good or bad health. Okay? So structural theories of health inequality see competing explanations as subordinate. So they're basically dissing the behavioral slash cultural theorists. So they say behavior and culture may identify links between structural determinants, but it doesn't identify the causal roots of health inequality. So they're saying behavior and culture identify just a bit. So people's behavior will actually determine how much money that they have. And then how much money that they have is actually the main reason why we see a difference in health outcomes. So people with the most resources within any society, which I think we can agree on, are always the healthiest regardless of their behavior. We could also argue that people with so much money and possibly even good behavior sometimes can have poor health. So it really could be argued. It could be argued both ways, which leads us to our final theory, which is the newest kind of understanding of health inequality. So it's more recent, is the most recent perspective on health inequality. And this theory believes that individual behavior and social selection, so behavior and income, explain only minor parts of current social inequalities in health. So by just looking at the term, we can pick out two things, which is psychosocial. That's a combination of psycho, medicine, social, sociology. So if you like, we can say that this theory is a combination of both. So the focus on the psychological effects of stressful conditions at home is what they believe is the fundamental cause for health inequality. So it's a combination of both. So if you have poor psycho, so poor behavior, low income, so that's poor social, that will lead to psychological trauma, that will lead to stress. And then they believe that psychological stress can affect your health in two ways. So psychological stress can affect your health indirectly. So what happens when people are stressed? Yeah, they can start to adopt health damaging behaviors as a way to cope, which obviously affects their health indirectly. And psychological stress can actually just lead to disease development such as mental breakdown, mental illness, even as serious as schizophrenia. So to recap, this theory is saying that looking at behavior and looking at structure on its own will only explain minor parts, but really it's the combination of both that leads to stress. So stress is the fundamental cause for health inequality, and I believe this is especially true in developed and developing countries. And they believe that this psychological stress can affect your health in two ways: directly by the disease development, or indirectly by the person adopting damaging health behaviors. Okay? So, class activity. We've looked at behavioral theory, we've looked at we've looked at materialistic theory, and we've also looked at the psychosocial theory. Can you come up with some differences between all three theories? And are they saying the same thing? Are there any similarities And what do you think is your favorite theory, or your theory that most resonates with your understanding of health inequality in the UK? Okay.